Well, howdy ho, kids. It is Friday. It is Bitch Day. We've survived another week of brutality out there in the real world. I'm Wade. I'm your host. Let's get bitching. We got a lot of stuff going on tonight. Got a firefighter, and a paramedic, and a biologist, all rolled into one dude. A lot more brains than what I'm used to dealing with. Brad Hopper's here. Let's bring him in right quick. Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Hey, Wade. Good. Yourself? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for jumping in so late. I know it's 10 o'clock where you're at and past your bedtime.
It's Friday,
after
the long
spending a day on
weekend.
the golf course. You get the long weekend this weekend?
I do.
Lucky
Yeah,
man.
I'm on a bit of holiday right now, so yeah, I get the whole week.
Oh, you lucky son of a...
Yeah.
Oh, screw you. We're out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
No, right on. So you are working right now as a firefighter, right?
Correct.
And then
Both.
you're still a paramedic every now and again just to keep your certification and hours in, correct? I think I heard that.
Yeah. So to back it
Or
up
am
a
I
bit, I
making
was a
shit up?
paramedic. I was a biologist first, and then I switched into paramedics. And after about 11 years full time in that, I jumped ship to the fire side. And now I've been doing both for the last 9. I just stayed on as a medic for twice a week. Kept my license going on the side, and full-time gigs fire though. Yeah.
Right on. We'll get into some of the horror stories. That's what we've got
Sure.
you here for.
Yeah.
But I do have one really serious question, and because I've heard this on media, I've read it on social media, I've heard it on the radio, I've heard Locker talk about it here. When you guys roll into work, and just for the sake of argument, you're working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Just those are your hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you roll in at 8:45 and get changed into your firefighter gear, and you have your morning pre-work communication meeting. PCMs, we used to call them at UPS. Everybody gathers around, and the boss comes down, and he's handing out the day's safety tip and assignments and so forth. Does Trudeau send you guys a special memo of how you're supposed to call everything a COVID patient? So when you pull a guy out of a burning building with third-degree burns all over his body, you've got to write COVID? Or is that all fake news too?
We can inflate the numbers however you want. We can.
The reason I ask is because I hear it on the radio all the time that there's an anecdote there that the government is actually sending mainstream media memos on how to conduct themselves on air, in print, whatever. And it's like, how many? I know in Edmonton area there's about 127 media outlets, radio, TV, and print. And we're not that big a marketplace. Toronto, there's got to be probably 300 or 400. You know, so how does he email this to you guys? Or
I'm not privy to any of that level of stuff. I'm at the level where we still speak the truth, and no one wants to hear any of it.
Exactly.
You know,
it's just mind numbing.
We're not as bad as you though. We're not as bad as Alberta. I feel sorry for you guys.
As far as numbers right now, yeah, we're in it's just
hence the hat, right?
Yeah, it's just a gong show. We've got nurses from the military in the hospitals here now helping out. It's a shit show. It was the best summer ever, and this is the result of it.
We've been given the memo on a serious note to get ready to have the Albertans delivered to us, or we're picking them up, one or the other. I don't know how it's working.
Yeah, I don't know how it's
working. But we've been told to be prepared. In the center that I'm working in, southeastern Ontario around Kingston, we took a big cohort in from the bigger areas last year, or last wave. So I fully anticipate that they'll be coming our way, and they got to get, for example, from the airport to the hospital somehow, and that's where we get involved.
Yeah, exactly.
And last time we weren't even fully vaccinated or given the option from our lovely premier. But we can talk premiers all day if you want to start your bitch fest right now.
Well, if we go.
Yeah.
Whose is better? Who's doing a better job?
Yeah.
They're both.
I don't know. You look at.
Well, they're also absenteed. They're all absentee. Like you can't find them to, they're all in hiding.
I want that job where you actually, when the shit hits the fan, you can leave.
Yeah,
or take a vacation.
No kidding.
Yeah, just hide.
That's quite.
Yeah,
That's
in
the
our
opposite
area.
from what you do. complete opposite
Exactly.
because you run into the trouble.
Yeah.
These guys are running away from
Yeah,
it. So.
and we're still getting stuff delivered to us, Wade. Someone's driving that to us.
Yeah.
It's the full circle that we talk about, where we can't do our job without you doing your job. And what this pandemic did was really highlight what essential is.
Yeah, exactly.
It keeps going on. It's deep, many layers, and it's not just us. We get the forefront. We're going into the scenes a little more, but we can't do that without the support of everybody.
No, I hear you.
So we're all allowed to bitch equally.
Yeah, as a premier, prime minister, mayor, even, it's not a job I'd want right now. There isn't a decision you can make that is the right decision.
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now. But before you would have wanted to be in politics?
Before
Or-
COVID, maybe.
I've toyed with the idea, but
I don't know.
I don't
I was
know if it's right for me,
unfortunate
but-
or fortunate enough. As in grade 8, I was a legislative page, one of those little suit-wearing kids that ran around and delivered. And it did the opposite of what they thought. Right then and there, I knew no way. I was 13 years old. Never
right
thought of
off it.
politics ever since. I got to see it firsthand, and it was supposed to encourage me to go, but no thanks.
It did the opposite.
It's hard to be that when you're a boots to the ground type of person. I've been in different levels in these jobs. I've had management roles, I've had union roles, I've had both sides, and I just prefer to be out there doing the job.
That's how I am. Put me on the ground.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's what they
I
need.
jump in my truck at 6 o'clock in the morning. I drive around Edmonton dropping off parts, and I'm home by noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's
And you're happy doing it. Meets
I have
the
a
need.
life.
I
If
deal
we
with
win the
seniors
lottery,
all day.
Oh, and that's award winning right there.
Yeah,
you know?
zero paperwork, zero responsibility outside of getting the truck out and home safely. Really,
Good
and
for
don't
you.
piss off
Now, do
customers.
you report to a depot and grab the truck? You bring it home. Who are you with right now?
I'm with
I don't know if
Alden
you want
Auto
to say,
Salvage.
but yeah.
I'm with Alden Auto Salvage, local.
So do you get
Car-
to
car
bring your
wrecker
vehicle
over.
back?
I take it to the yard. I could bring it home if I wanted to, but
Yeah.
I'm only 10 kilometers away from work, and
Perfect.
I prefer not having the responsibility of having the truck parked in my driveway,
Yeah.
just in case
Yeah.
something
And if you
does
don't want to
happen,
go in,
right?
then you don't have to take it anywhere, right?
Right, exactly. That's the other
Yeah,
thing too.
exactly.
Fine.
Yeah. I don't bring mine home either, Wade.
Why not?
I don't bother. No, it doesn't fit in the driveway. The one of them. The other one's probably too messy from being run all day in the ambulance roads. But
Yeah.
we got a
Actually,
couple viewers. I see. Is that right?
I should
How many
have,
viewers you
actually have
showing?
an ambulance. Zero. I should actually
Zero.
have
I
an
got
ambulance
2
on
comments
standby.
showing.
Do you?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, look at us go.
Where's your counter? Can I see that, or is that for you as the
No,
main
that's
dude?
for me. It's for me, but it doesn't work. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Tara. They're both here.
There we go. Yeah, something about patience before, but I'm just gonna
Yeah.
follow you.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, Tara says they had patients before from other areas.
That's right. So this is what we were talking about when
Yeah.
we were with Kingston, and we weren't protected, and we were given the patients, and these were known. Unlike most days where I agreed that I'd go to work and I played the roulette game, and I might have a COVID patient, I might not. But these ones were known, and they were shoved on us, and we're getting them back again. Apparently,
Jesus.
we're a little more equipped this time, and we need to help out our own provinces before we do anything. Like, we need to help you guys. We do the same. So
Yeah, exactly. We're all in
Yeah.
this together. We have to help each other. There's no
that's
two ways
right,
about
because
it.
we're all fighting the same politicians, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They'll
Yeah.
make the mistakes, and we'll clean up the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit rolls downhill, so.
I have people that work at Scotford, which is a big refinery, and it probably employs about, I don't know, 14,000 people, give or
Yeah,
take.
something like that, 14, 15
So
grand.
every second day, one person from there comes in and asks if we're doing COVID testing. And it's like, no, we're not doing testing. Shoppers Drug Mart in the city select a couple of them, and I'm not sure how they're testing, if it's nasal or throat or what it is.
Right.
There's a
But it's
rapid test.
$40 a shot for them. And I was talking to Wade yesterday, and I said, some of these same people are coming in daily, like every couple days. I don't know how long you're good with this COVID test for a job, but a lot of people are coming in and asking for COVID tests, and we don't do them at where we're just starting the third shots for some of the seniors and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's people that are just so diehard stupid. They're willing to
Yep.
pay $40 for this shot because Alberta Health isn't covering them anymore. You need a COVID test, you pay for it out of your own pocket, find a place, because they're not doing it. And there's people that are still working that are willing to do a COVID test before their shift. And that's just insane.
You know how long a COVID test is good for?
72 hours.
Till you walk away from the table and you touch something that has COVID on it. They're absolutely a farce.
Yeah,
Same with the temperature thing. Everyone getting their temperatures taken. Temperature is such a late stage indication of an infection. By the time you have a temperature, you've probably been infecting people for a week, 2 weeks. It's smoke and
that
mirrors.
long, eh?
Yeah.
That long.
It can be, it can be.
Yeah.
And you're most infectious before that fever. So, and tell me the last time you had a fever and you didn't know you had one.
How would I know?
You feel like shit. You know, you get the chills. The
Yeah,
aches.
no, when I got my
off.
second shot.
Yeah.
It doesn't throw you off. You don't say, oh, really, I have a fever, you know. And I don't know, it's just something to occupy time, in my opinion, for these decision makers. Something to fill the gaps, to say that they're doing something.
Yeah.
I guess we got to measure something somehow, but...
Yeah. But it's
You're
insane.
getting better, though. Is Alberta still climbing? Or is it kind of plateauing now?
It's kind of plateaued, and it's dropped down a few today. A couple fewer positive cases, a couple fewer out of ICU and out of hospital. So,
I've seen a
they
lot
naturally
of people
do that anyway.
In.
Yeah.
A lot of people coming in that work with seniors in the homes, in healthcare, that are coming in for their first shots, and the only reason they're coming in for their first shots is because now it's mandate. You have 30 days to either get your shots.
Where I was going to go next is that the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees, that's the nurses and so forth, and the Alberta Labour Union lawyer came out today and said businesses have the right to request that you're double vaccinated before you can come to work. And that is a federal mandate in the Workplace Safety Act. In order to maintain a safe workplace, you can put it in your policy that everybody has to be double vaccinated. And there is nobody has anything to fight with. There's no lawsuits, nothing that's going to change that. So.
Yeah, and they all think that they can.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to come down. It's going to come down.
I'm so torn on these decisions.
It started with frontline workers, right? They had to be vaxxed and all that stuff back in January and February and March, and then the seniors and so forth. But I can see this actually rolling downhill because it was essential workers after that. So I think that's coming down the pipe, where anybody that's essential, dealing with anything to do with the public, will have to be vaccinated.
So I don't think they've thought this through, though. It's all fine and dandy to not let someone work, but what about those that have, quote unquote, done the proper thing in their mind, got double vaxxed, and they show up to work and now they're short staff when they're already extra busy? Our local hospital in Kingston just let go 136 people. Yeah. Everything from the custodians right through to the medical teams. So now you have 136 less people working in the pandemic still, and the ones that are left behind are the ones that did what they're supposed to do, and now they get the reward of not getting any time off again and extra workload. It's no one knows what to do with it.
Yeah, it's a no-win situation. It's just there's no way around it.
It's trying to get people to do the right thing, to do the vaccinations, and I can go back to work, because I read something about them being laid off without pay, or on a leave without pay. So they won't get paid. So they really don't have much of a choice if they want to come back.
And ours, even a lot of them in our area, have laid off without pay up until a certain point, and then it's termination. So I think there might be a 6-week, 8-week window, and then at that point there's a cutoff, and they're done. But I mean, then what?
Wow.
Do we start from scratch with all these new hires and trying to backfill people that don't want to work anyway? No, it's and I've lost a really good colleague due to this. And you can have your anti-vax stance. In the end, COVID's just a piece of shit that's ruining everything for us, and we can't really appreciate the personal turmoil it's having on families and on relationships of friends, neighbors, whatever, where you're being torn apart. And this is the firefighter that I had working with us is a favorite colleague of mine. And he's quit. He's done. Early. Cashed in the pension, was out. Doesn't know what he's going to do, but he's not getting vaxxed. whether he's right or wrong, I just neither here nor there. We've lost a good guy due to this freaking pandemic. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I've heard of family
doesn't.
turmoil too. What if a spouse doesn't want it and the other one does? You can't go out together. You can't visit people together. You can't host people together. It's creating such turmoil. And I don't side with either in the end. I side with a strong decision that you do without the use of magic or smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, exactly.
Take your pick and stand with it, but at least pick a side and pick a good argument. But the in-between world is really hurting us.
Yep. So let's lighten the mood here.
That's getting a little heavy for sure.
Let's get a little.
I thought for sure. So, no F-bombs yet. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, what the fuck? There you go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on Friday night. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about this thing. This is just the.
Yeah, that's
this
her.
Is Aggie.
Yeah, she's a giant schnauzer. She's 2 years old, and she's basically my mental therapy. That is my personal way of dealing with what I do every day.
Yeah.
Is I come home off shift, whether it's after a night shift or on days off, whatever, and my first 2 hours of my day are usually out with her, and there's nothing like it. Fresh air, hiking in the woods with her, and unless you've had that relationship with any sort of pet, it seems unbelievable or untrue.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no relation, there's no bond like it.
I'm locked away in a back bedroom with the door closed. Otherwise, this isn't happening. I have a 65-pound Aussie Shep breathing all over me, up on me. It's just, Dad, come on, Dad, ball, let's go play ball. Come on, Dad. So.
Yeah, 24/7 ball.
24/7 ball.
Yeah, there's no loyalty. There's nothing like it.
No,
and it's
sure.
It's my outlet. I don't. Oh, yeah. You're finding some good ones on here for sure.
Yeah,
that's just around the corner from where I live. Yeah, no,
really?
That'd be a muskie. Yeah.
That's muskie?
A muskie that was caught casting on top water, and I was actually trying for it. Usually those ones show up when I'm in a bass tournament and not wanting them. But that night we went out and went looking for them, and that's probably my biggest freshwater fish to date. Well, other than a salmon, but inland lake stuff, it would be. That one was topping 33, 34 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a big
that was a good
fish.
Fight.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a quick fight. It was right because it hit right beside the boat.
Yeah.
Are they good eating? I've never had one.
No, I don't. Those are just game fish, and you can hopefully catch and release and let them go, take a nice picture, and let them be. But some people are keeping them for trophies or whatnot. But no, I don't eat most of what I catch. It's mostly just out of sport, and actually a lot of it for the years was competition. We were doing it for money. And those are the ones you want.
Yeah, I didn't download the pictures of the boat because I was a little jealous.
No, and that boat is actually the tournament boat's gone. My partner that was dedicated with me, he had to give it up. That was my boat, but without the partner and the financial commitment, I got a good offer when the other teams heard that I was leaving the sport. My partner was done. Someone walked up and said they knew the boat and they wanted it. It was gone. So now we just kind of use a little less flashy things to get around, and it's a little cheaper to do that too.
Yeah, well, it's like our boat. We had a 19.5-foot bayliner that I bought it in '08, thinking this is a great way to get the family together out at the lake, pull some tubes around, do some fishing, da-da-da-da. The kids came out, one day, though? In 5 years?
Yeah, once or twice.
Maybe two times. Yeah. And then the boat sat in the driveway here for 4 or 5 years, and I looked at the boat, I says, you know what? We sold the Harleys because we put 2,000 kilometers on them in the summer. They're sitting in the barn not doing nothing. Let's get rid of them. So we sold them and then looked at the boat and went, yeah, it's gone too. So all the toys are gone.
You reach a point.
Yeah.
Well, our shifts just were opposite each other. So we never had time off. Like I had Sunday, Mondays off, and he had Saturday, Sunday, right? So we had Sunday together. You can only go so far when you got to come back for work, right? So.
Sounds like the secret to success. Opposite shifts. Eh?
Not always.
Something's working.
Not really.
Something's working.
We like hanging with each other.
Yeah.
So tell me,
good for you guys.
You run into the accident scene, and I'm laying there, barely conscious or just waking up, and I wake up to this shit.
Yeah. You just better hope that I'm having a good day.
What the hell have I done wrong?
On the old, are we talking about the mask or the arm?
Yeah, the arm. The whole.
Yeah, no. The arm is a story. There's some personal trauma that I went through, not work related, family related, a few years ago, and that actually is a Japanese sleeve, if you will. The art's Japanese, and it signifies getting through a bunch of shit.
Cool.
And
Kind of like the
I've always
apostrophe.
tinkered with it, and it was a big step to go for it. But once I committed, it was part of getting through what I was getting through, and I've never looked back. And it's definitely a conversation piece. It doesn't really mask too well, and I don't want it to, but I haven't even worried about it. Everyone says, what are you going to do when you're older, whatever. I won't care when I'm older. I won't care at all. It's something to me. It was 36 hours worth of sitting with multiple needles in my arms, so
yeah.
Do you have a better look, a better view of it?
Picture? I do.
No,
I don't know if I have it on. Probably not. I'll have to send it to you. Yeah, I'll have to send
that's
something.
The only picture
I don't have anything
that
posted. Yeah. That one there was for Dean when he was chirping somebody who was chirping me on social media about saying we were busy. And this person actually said, oh, is the hospital truly busy and whatever? And Dean just put this one out and said, well, unless you want to look up and find this staring at you, you better smarten up, and you don't want to find out. So, yeah, that's...
it took me, 45 years to get my first tattoo as well, so... Because I didn't want to just get a tattoo for the sake of getting a goddamn tattoo. I wanted to tell a story.
That was my thing. That tattoo actually was probably 3 years in the making.
Yeah.
18 months of it in the end to get it put on, but the other 12 months were to design it and figure out what was actually meaningful.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, it's definitely polarizing though. You got to remember, I'm in a lot of seniors' homes, and I'm in a lot of older generation homes where they just they're not they're mystified by it actually. And with a shaved head, it's just like, what is going on with you? What has happened to you? What went wrong in your life? And
do you ever watch any of the Chicago fires or anything like that? There's a firefighter on Chicago Fire, and I don't know his name, but you could pass for brothers.
Can I say something to that? And I don't want to offend anyone, including you. Those shows are absolute shit. They're garbage. I can't watch them, and it's only because I know. Well,
you know you know what's happening. In real life.
It's so glorified and not true that it's Hollywood. It's made for TV. It's got an audience. Exactly. I get it, but I personally can't watch it.
Yeah, they're selling a product, and
there used to be.
In order to do that,
do you remember all those emergency shows that were actual, like the Learning Channel, and that they had emergency room bringing in that stuff was kind of my wheelhouse, but it was no different. Would you go home and watch someone deliver parts all day? No, like I go home, I wasn't going to watch that again. I just did that, so I don't want to see it. But
yeah,
exactly. There's
that
movie we watched the other day, a couple months ago, Ice Road Trucker or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and that's.
I can't watch.
Have any of them gone through the ice yet? Yeah. Have they gone through it ever yet?
On the TV series? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on a TV series if any of them have. But this was a movie that was shot. I forget when it was. It's not a whole lot old, and just so inaccurate. It's incredible. You know.
And that's how it is for me with that. And I actually get mad watching.
45, 50 miles an hour crossing the ice. Well, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
You get above about 15 miles an hour and you're gone.
As soon as the wave hits, right? You're creating that
wave,
and
you're
you're
wake
gone.
On the ice, and you're down, right? So.
But I'm told about those shows quite a bit, and I'm actually asked mainly by patients, because that's the only interaction they ever have with medics or firemen or anything. Is they watch these shows, and they basically say, "Oh, well, I was watching this the other day, so you must understand that." And I have no idea what they talk about. We don't watch any of it. And none of us do. They're not on at the hall. They're not on at the station, but they're good entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's Chicago 911, or what did you say it was?
Chicago Fire. There's a paramedic.
I'll try and look to see this poor soul that's bald, and you got to feel sorry for people.
He's a big guy, really big guy. But we were watching it the other night, and you do resemble him quite a bit.
That's hopefully it's a good thing, but I feel sorry for that soul if they look like me.
You might when you answer a call get, "Hey, are you from that TV show?" And now you'll know what it's about, right?
Yeah. And it's almost like a bald thing, right? There's a lot of just being bald and then in a uniform, all of a sudden they think You look like 10 different people just without even the face. It's just that's what they see.
So now when somebody's laying there on the gurney and you're trying to intubate them or sew their arm back on and they're screaming at you, I want your autograph. You'll know what it's about.
That's right. Yeah. If they're doing that, I'm not intubating them because I'm probably not doing something I should be doing if they're able to talk to me like that.
Okay, let's funny
There's
things you've run into.
Or is there? No.
No, it's
okay. Funny things?
Yeah.
Funny things?
Funniest
Lots.
ambulance thing you've run into. I know with Dean you're going the
There's
stuff
so
in the
many.
bum. We don't want
we're
that.
not going to do the ass stuff because
No.
he gave me the opportunity, so I kind of left it with him with that
steal
one.
that away from him.
There's some sad ones that are funny, like I had a guy that was hit by a car when he ran out into traffic because he swore that Barney the purple dinosaur was chasing him. He was pretty strung out on something at the time, but it was literally to the point that he ran out in front of this car so that he didn't get chased by the purple dinosaur and ended up paralyzed. And it was, to us, that's the dark humor, right? Like you just, if you're going to play with the big boys, you might have to pay the price at the end of the day. And
I think
he funny.
And I might have shared the same dealer.
Yeah, that's right. There's so many funny ones. I have to literally report word for word, verbatim, what patients tell us to the physicians. That's kind of what we're obligated to do. So when we show up at a scene, we'll ask somebody their medical history or what medications they take or what they're allergic to. And there's a local homeless individual that likes to call us all the time here. And his favorite thing is he's allergic to vaginas. And I literally have to phone that into the hospital each time with the meds, the allergies, whatever that he is so paranoid about the women that he's had in his life and the turmoil that they've caused that he considers it a vagina allergy. And we then report the vagina allergy to the physicians each and every time we're there. So that's another one that I've had individuals that want to do their own paperwork. So I get them a copy and let them give it a go and we see how well they do that. I've had, there's so many. I should have prepped for that question a little more because there's literally, I need my partner of 12 years here. His name's Troy. You may be running into Troy in the near future here with a conversation, but when him and I get rolling, it almost like we feed off each other so much that you can forget. We're doing on average, let's say in the ambulance, 9 to 11 calls a day. So you do 16 shifts a month, and you do that over 20 years, and you end up, it all just melds into one. Yeah. But no, the funny ones are usually the stories we've been telling Dean with stuff that's been put in the ass accidentally. Yeah. There is a really good, I'll give you this one then. How's this? The horrific but disturbing story of the wrenches. Did you hear that one? Were you online for that when I ever said that? So Christmas time, we show up to a house and this individual male in his 30s is alone. And his pants are down and his hammer is right through a ratcheting wrench. You know the hex wrench sets that you get? That's they're hex set, they're octagon shaped and they're forged steel. Well, he decided that looked like a perfect thing that he should insert his penis into and see how good it felt. And at the time, he was deciding to pleasure himself with this wrench.
More butter.
It excited him to the point that I can't believe I'm talking about this right now on this, but he actually decided to screw this fucking wrench to the point that he got so swollen that it self-tourniquet, if that makes sense. So he basically got so engorged that the blood could not return to where it needed to go to get rid of that excitement, if you will. And it became a true medical emergency. So I had this guy go to the hospital with me with his pecker and a wrench, swollen, in pain, freaking out. Now you got to remember when we get to the hospital, this is forged hardened steel. They can't cut it.
Just can't
so they literally had to cut him lengthwise from tip to base and get that wrench off this poor bugger before they could get him into the operating room, and he lost full function of that unit. But I cannot tell you, when I'm working with another guy of years that I've been working with, of the same seniority, like it's just, that shit is funny. Like we can't get there and believe, like you can't make it up that when you walk in and like you're sitting there staring at someone that's just screwed a wrench and you're trying to figure out what is wrong with you, what went wrong, like how am I doing this for a living? how am I like going from an older lady who's having an actual like chest pain call or abdominal pain, and the next call I go to, this guy's banging a wrench. It just
Home too
it's
long.
horrific. That's right. That's right. So, but then you see the grief, like the remorse on their face when the doctor's saying, "This is going to cost you the use of your Johnson here. We're done. Like we got to cut it open because you're running a risk of a blood clot. That's what's happening."
Yeah.
He could form a clot in there and then release it, and he'd be dead. Anyway. So yeah. So how about a guy screwing a adjustable wrench in his basement alone for whatever reason? And then not realizing it was self-split. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, never go away. Always have an open-ended wrench, right? Not the closed
right,
ones.
yeah.
But
Crescent wrench. At least you can adjust the pressure, right?
yeah. We kind of use those to help with other calls, but we won't talk about what you could do with them at home.
Well, they're designed to work on nuts, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, don't leave, Brad. I got a feeling Doe's going to come in here and slap the shit out of me right quick.
No, we're good. I'll take the blame, Doe. Fire calls, too, we get into some predicaments that, like, that's just the medic side of things. When you're with 4 or 5 guys and girls on your crew and you go into a house, it's a completely different ball of wax, too, because now you're going in en masse and people are a little less brave and like, you walk into a living room with a stripper pole, what do you say? It's nothing to do with the call. It's nothing to do with, but you walk in and you're doing a call in a living room, checking a smoke alarm, but this friggin' stripper pole is blocking the smoke alarm that I'm trying to check. How do you politely ask someone to not put their stripper pole near the smoke detector?
See, I told you, Doe.
I did it.
No, so you walk in like that. Now you're with 4 guys and 2 girls, or you're with whoever. And I mean, there's nothing but, as soon as a person leaves the room, it's nothing but a question mark. And I'm not questioning. You want to have a stripper pole, fine. Just don't put it right near your smoke detector so that we have to show up and figure out what the hell's wrong with your smoke detector. But
So they smoke after sex, or?
they probably smoke coming off the pole for some of these people that I've seen.
Why bother having a smoke detector?
You could always ask them if it's a support beam.
You could, yeah. I can guarantee you it's probably not, but it does look like one of those basement poles that you put in the unfinished basement.
You just ask them, is this
Tara's got to take hers down too.
Yeah. We're going to start to tell stories out of school.
You and Tara better jump on a video together and help each other to take the poles down.
Yeah. Tara, keep away from the smoke detector, that's all. Unless you want the guys to show up, then all the power.
Why should one bother having a smoke detector if his house isn't on fire?
Well, I don't know. Why would you want a COVID shot?
Yeah, why would you get a COVID shot?
Yeah, seatbelts. You had a great post today, Wade. You had that one about the measles, mumps, rubella.
Yeah.
That was a great post.
Over the years with
poor science, poor
science at that time.
And what people forget too is
right.
This was generations of these polio shots and the next generation is born and they have a little bit of immunity, but they're still getting a polio shot. So it took time. Like, it wasn't overnight where it eradicated itself.
That's right.
People are just...
Immunizations, vaccinations are not new. It's been evolving ever since
we all had
the 1800s. Well, I would defy anyone who's complaining about the current vaccination to tell me that they don't have all the other vaccinations so that they're alive today to complain about the current vaccination. It's kind of, it's a little bit...
Well, it's my body. I'll decide what goes in my body. Nobody else will decide for me. I've heard that before too.
The flu vaccine is coming out, is out in some places already. I was looking for the date, but
we usually see it in our field around November.
There should be no issues between the 2 vaxes, because one is RMNA and the other is...
And they're completely different. There's no difference. I can get a Hep C vaccination and a polio vaccination. They're all different systems that they're working on, and they're finding... I know that the flu and COVID are in the same strain. What's this? When I cook, my detector goes...
And the tyranny.
Yeah, that's right. And that's Ryan,
that happened.
or is that Ashley?
The
What's that?
Steeple Shepherd. I'm not
That
sure who it
happened.
is.
Which one
It's
is
probably Ryan.
messaging us? Yeah. Hello, Ryan. If you're there, it's we're having a little better sound with this one. He commented on that earlier. Did you see
I
that?
did. Yeah.
So it sound great. Did you see mine when I was sitting, or his when I was sitting on with him?
No.
And I had wireless headphones, and they clicked off the laptop
Oh,
or the
yeah.
iPad. Oh, what a mess! I felt horrible for him. He was running such a great interview, and all of a sudden, I just shit the bed on my Bluetooth, and it was over. So we now have this 1978 cord plug that seems to be working really well. So we're going to stick with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off there. Don't. You were talking about the flu vaccinations and the COVID vaccinations and the mingling and they're coming out soon. And
I don't remember where I was going to go with that.
I can say that I will probably be getting a flu vaccination for my line of work. They say it's not mandatory for paramedics in the province of Ontario to get it. But if there's an outbreak of any flu in anywhere you're responding to, you're not allowed to work. So
wow.
Yeah.
call that voluntary, if you will. But if you're volunteering not to go to work, then I personally have had one since I got into the field. And it's a personal preference. Again, I still have coworkers that wouldn't get it, but
I had a flu shot in 2020, according to my records, and I really don't remember getting it, but Dole says I did. So
Yeah, I told you to
that's a
because
good
you
thing.
just the year previous you had pneumonia twice.
yeah.
And I thought that would be a good thing, especially with all this that was floating around and there wasn't any vaccine at the time. So I thought, well, you better have it. I can't take a flu shot. I've tried, and it didn't
But
end
that's
well.
why we do. That's why we do, though, and that's the same with COVID.
Yeah.
If you can and you're able to, you should, to protect those that can't.
Yeah.
And I feel most sorry for the unfortunate ones that want to or are willing to and can't.
Well, it
their
was right
world
up in the air
is-
whether I could do this COVID shot or not, because I've had ovarian cancer. I've had cervical cancer. I suffer from pseudocolon esterase deficiency. And you probably
We can't really get into the definition of that unless you want on the with the
On the
neurotransmitter
pseudocolon?
syndrome, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cole's
with the
notes
whole
is her body-
COVID,
Her enzymes don't break down.
Break the neurotransmitter, right? So
yeah, I don't
muscle relaxants.
metabolize. I'm level 1
Yeah.
where I do not metabolize. So when I have a surgery or whatever, I have to pretty much write out my will. They have to have an anesthesiologist sit with me. They have to have an antidote for everything they put into me. So with the COVID vaccine, if anybody's out there that's scared, unless you've got pseudocolon esterase deficiency, have at her. Go get the vaccine.
Right.
But with me,
But the difference is you have an answer. You have a reason, you have research, you're educated, you understand. You're not just saying I'm not getting it because they're telling me to get it and screw the man.
Yeah,
No,
I did all the research and I watched, and then I asked my pharmacist, and he said, well, I'm going to have to dig deeper. I said, because if there's any trace elements of muscle relaxant, I'm done. Like, I am done.
Yeah.
And there's no coming back from that. So he watched, and I'm adopted, so I don't have a background where I can pull from. I have partial, like from my mom's side, but not from my dad's. So going through all of this, and I watched Wade, and I'm like, oh God, like I have to get this done. Like I have to. So I was like, okay, talk to my pharmacist. He didn't have the answer. He says pseudocolon is more prominent in those with a native background, which is okay. Well, that makes sense because I'm Cree and Irish and Ukrainian. My dad was Cree and Irish, so he contacted a few different reserves that were giving shots and what kind of side effects would come with the Moderna shot, because that's what was being offered at the time. So he went back and forth, and a couple had Pfizer, had a little bit of a reaction. So it took about a month and a half before he got back to me and said, Moderna is probably the best solution for you. He says, and
Good for you.
the second shot, he wouldn't let me leave for 20 minutes. He says, everybody else can leave after 10. He says, you're not going any place for 20. And I'm going to check on you every 5 minutes. And he did, just to make sure.
Good. But
so, yeah.
you couldn't have found that on Google in 6 seconds?
No.
What's wrong? Everyone else can find their answer in 6 seconds, and
no,
it's verified,
he
and
did
it's
the
it's
background
the truth.
work.
Exactly. It takes time. It takes dedication. If you're interested and you want to find out, you do the right research, you figure it out yourself, and then make your decision on that.
And he
I
didn't
wish
just look
people would just
here.
do that.
He didn't look just
Right.
here. He looked in the States. He looked in India. He looked at all the different vaccines as well to see
Right.
what
Good.
people were having the best results with. As
Now,
far
let me
as
question. We're not going to get too detailed into the old physiology but is that the malignant hypothermia type syndrome that you get with the acetylcholinesterase inhibition, like the breakdown? Because I
with
know that's
me,
also prevalent in the indigenous culture with us out this way.
with me, it's I don't metabolize. I'm missing the enzyme. So
Right.
when I do take on like a muscle relaxant or something like that, it affects the big organs first. I quit breathing, my
Right.
heart stops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the core. Okay, that
And
makes sense.
when there's adrenaline given, if I come into something in contact, like say they're spraying crops with, oh, I don't even know what they spray them with, but there's trace elements of
Okay.
muscle relaxant in the spray.
It's usually
And
the organophosphates and stuff like
Yes.
that are in there.
Yeah,
that can
if
be
I breathe them in,
paralyzing or paralytics. Yeah.
yeah, if I breathe them
'Cause
in, it's a trip to the hospital.
And then it's a lot of
immediately.
reversal agent. Like we carry some stuff in the ambulance for basically pesticide toxicity, which leads to that, which would get you even 100 times more than the average individual. So it's a
Yeah,
big
so
risk and
Even
good for
walking
you for
into
checking it out.
into a vegetable market in Mexico, she can't go.
yeah,
Because
I lasted about a
they don't
minute.
wash and wax
Yeah.
their vegetables
Yeah.
the way we do here, right?
They have vegetables in Mexico.
Oh yeah,
I've been down there a few
That's
times. I
nice.
don't know if I saw one where we were staying, but
Oh,
Really?
you must have been in the
no,
tequila
no.
side, right?
There was,
You were
I just
in-
wasn't
you-
looking. Yeah, I
you were
wasn't
in the
looking for
bar.
vegetables was probably the problem.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
yeah,
haven't bitched a lot yet. So we should bitch about all those people that didn't get one, that could get one, and didn't protect the others that could. But
I'm done with
I've been
bitching
asked a
about
million
those
times.
people.
That's a big question for me. Big question. Should I get vaccinated? And I won't answer that. I refuse.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
make up
my
your
side.
mind.
I'll tell you my reasoning.
That's what I do.
But
Yep.
you need to figure yours out, and then you need to come up with a good reason that you are or are not. But if you give me something that's fluff or made up or imaginary or not backed, I can't support that.
No, I'll debunk
That's all I
you.
can say.
If you're,
Yeah.
if you're
And I'll,
handing me
and I'll
false
tell you exactly.
information,
Yeah. And I'll tell you
I'll
what I've
debunk you
done.
in hand. Yep.
I'm not afraid to
And
share
people
my
ask me, why'd
experience
you
and
get
what I
vaccinated?
researched.
Well, why'd Wade get vaccinated? My dad's 85, my mom's 80. My
There you go.
granddaughter's 11, my grandson's 10.
Yep.
They can't be vaccinated. My parents are high risk because of their age.
Yep.
Granted,
And I know-
I mean, they're at that age where a limited number of years left, but still, I don't want to be the one to walk in and be the bearer of, the
And how many
cause.
people do you hear out there that say they'd give their left arm or their right eye for their children, and then they won't get
Exactly.
vaccinated? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
well,
are
I
they-
don't know
yeah.
that you're really saying that's the case. So
Yeah,
yeah,
parental abuse.
it's a mess, and it's been dominating the conversation for way too long. Unfortunately, we should be
Yeah.
well beyond that. And I think we are kind of getting to the point where we're going to be looking back at the decisions people have made, and we're just moving on. Whatever decision you made, we're getting to the numbers now. And Alberta will be there right behind us shortly.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what the reasoning around Alberta this summer was. I think the government just said, you know what, you've had 8-9 months to get vaccinated. We're at 70%, which I don't think we were quite there, but irrelevant at this point. We're at 70%. You fuckers are on your own. You
See,
figure
the
it out.
interesting
Yeah.
part
It
about
just
that,
all that happened is it overwhelmed the medical system.
Yeah, and what did that do in the end?
when they announced that Alberta was open for business, that was a mistake because they could have done it on a quiet platform. They didn't do that. They announced it, and we saw tons of people coming into the province from all over the place. And we don't know if they were vaccinated when they came. So it's really, it was a crapshoot. And they opened everything up so that they could have, Calgary Stampede.
That's right.
But
we know that. It was
people came up from the States. People came in from Ontario. People came in from Vancouver, all over, and
It was an expensive rodeo, wasn't it? In the
it
end.
was.
Hey, you got
Yeah.
a cool souvenir hat out of it, so
Yeah, I did live in Calgary for 4 years, so I was kind of one of your
I'm sorry.
saucy neighbors down there. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't mention, but I was in school there. That's the only reason. Yeah, I went to school. That's where I finished my biology off, was at the University of Calgary. And I got to party in Sylvan Lake, and I went to Edmonton once, saw some glass pyramid looking things. And I went home. Yeah, so that's all I remember of that. But it was in some prime years of partaking socially. So Calgary wasn't a bad place at the time, and it was booming. So
it's still a nice place, like to drive through it and stuff like that.
It's changed a lot though, right?
Yeah.
And Sylvan Lake, I remember that's halfway between, right? Is that kind of Red Deer?
Yeah, it's just about halfway by Red Deer.
Yeah, just past Red Deer.
Yeah, and it was kind of like our.
It's just it's a resort town.
It's a lake town, right? So
yeah, Alberta's
like our Sauble Beach or whatever we have here. Yeah, Wasaga Beach out here, same thing, just a party beach town. But that's what it was for me, and it was a great time. I loved Alberta when I was there, but I just had nothing to keep me there once I was done school. Yeah. And I moved back, and I couldn't afford it because it was booming so much at the time that it was cheaper to come back to Ontario to try and build a home or a lifestyle. Now it's changed quite a bit.
What year was that?
That would have been 98, 99. I was gone before 2000, but
there's a lot of people that used to come into work, and they'd start working at Costco, and I was at Costco for 26 years, and they'd like come in from Ontario, and they're going, I can't believe you guys live here. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I thought it was cheap. Yeah. And he's like, no, man, you can get twice the property and for half the rent out there. And I'm like,
well, it depends where.
Yeah.
Well, you're not walking into Toronto and buying a house for the same price you're buying a house here.
Well, these guys weren't buying; they were renting.
No,
the rents are.
But back then, and even in the late '90s, it seemed to be somewhat on par. Calgary was escalating quickly; like the prices were just getting out of control fast, and the oil sands were booming, and there was everyone coming from the East Coast. I remember all the Newfoundlanders and that were coming for work, and it was just a great time to be around there. But it was an expensive time.
Yeah.
And, well, now we're like you. We have no jobs.
Well, it's all a cycle,
high
right?
rents.
Yeah.
It is. It's a
and then health.
It's all cyclical.
Yeah.
Everything.
It'll bounce back. It'll come around, and they'll figure out they need to get you guys back on track, and away you go.
Oil's back up to $70 a gallon, and the government's going to sit here and go, hey,
can we bitch? It's Friday night, right?
Yeah.
Friday night.
Go ahead. Fire away.
I left the golf course today, and I paid a fucking $1.42 a liter because it's Friday of a long weekend here.
Yeah, that's what we're paying here too.
It was $1.31. It was $1.31 yesterday. And they keep saying all their excuses, and how many times are we going to see the price gouging on these weekends? It's never going to end.
But there's no collusion.
No it's as predictable as the sun rising every day and setting in the evening, and no one will do a damn thing about it. So we got to bitch about it, I guess.
Exactly.
But I could not believe it. So you guys are at $1.42 as well?
Yeah, we're $1.41.9 or something.
Yeah, and 2 days ago.
The other day, 124.
You know, we're not running oil anymore.
I know that, but you have it.
Oh, we have it, but nothing's getting done with it.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to fix all this.
There was that oil spill.
I think Ryan posted that. Ryan Lindley posted that the other day. There was a big tank leaking somewhere. Or are you talking about on the water or on land?
It was on the ocean. It was on the ocean.
Yeah, there was another one on land I think he was posting too, yeah.
Yeah, so of course, it's $1.41 because, well, it affects everybody.
Well, it's because we reached a high of 24 today where I live. It's going to go up in price because we didn't expect it to be that hot today, and now we got it up at 8 cents a liter. It makes no sense. Who's the $1.65 a liter? Someone's saying Tara's saying for
Tara's.
The Hellcat. That's pretty much rocket fuel anyway, right? Yeah, that's obviously premium.
That's what I'm paying for 94 octane here in the Mustang. Is $1.65
Oh, it was Texas.
a liter. But that's why.
Wow. Oh, okay. So they're talking about the leak in Texas. No, that's why I only run
91 octane when I'm driving around because I can't afford.
So we're now at the point where it's cheaper to fill your car with milk, right?
Yeah.
What's a few liters of milk? It's got to be.
Where's all this biofuel they keep talking about? Where's it?
Yeah. Well, I'd be first to jump on an electric vehicle if it made sense and I could afford to run it. Beyond buying it at the dealership, like I do the math, and all these electric vehicles still don't make sense to me personally. No. They're a great idea, but to do a cost recapture, I won't own the vehicle long enough to recapture the difference in price. We're going to
if you're on call,
right now.
If you're on call and you got to run, oh wait, I got to wait 3 hours because I need.
I didn't plug my car in last night.
Yeah. I might have to have another beer. Then we'll just.
The recycling world isn't set up to handle them yet, anyways.
No.
Yeah, and the fire world's really not liking them. They're not extinguishable. So
Yep.
they just got to
Wow.
kind of let them burn. And there's some places I don't know if you've seen the fuel cells. I'm sure you have in the Teslas
Yep.
and whatnot that are out
Yep.
there. They look like a big pad of double A's, really. Like they're
Yeah.
bigger, but
Yep.
they look like a whole bunch of individual cells.
Yep.
And they're in that enclosed casing of whatever material. Well, what happens is if there's a fire in that battery, it punctures the casing and shoots out like a blowtorch under pressure.
Yep.
And the water we have doesn't do anything to it. And then the next battery will burn, it'll burn them. And they have to put them in water for 3 days in Europe right now. They're coming up with a technology where they have to take them to a tank at a wreckers and let them sit submerged for 3 days straight to make sure they're burned out. So, and to make it even scarier, Brampton, Ontario here just bought the first one in Canada, I believe, if not Ontario, electric fire truck. The entire fire truck's electric.
Yeah,
So I
that's
guess we're going to see
scary.
how that's going to roll out.
Electricity
Yeah,
and
so
water, that's always a it's always
yeah,
a good
and
thing, right?
again, like you say, what kind of backup power do you have? What kind of longevity do you have? I haven't seen it enough to know, but the technology's obviously there. If
Yeah.
they're doing that for a fire
Yeah,
truck to
certainly.
give me a runaround vehicle for less than $75,000, $60,000, like just give me a generic car that I can boot around in, and I'll have the gas vehicle for when I need to do real work,
Yeah.
as far as towing or whatever I need to do. But it's
Although the new
sickening the
F-150,
price.
the new F-150 electric will tow your boats and shit around.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
ticketing at what?
Couldn't tell you.
80,000? 75, 80, I
probably
think it's up
75,
there.
80.
So my little truck that I have now that I only spent a measly like high 40s, low 50s on,
Yeah.
it'll get
Yeah.
the job done and I'll save the
Yeah.
30 grand.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I mean. It's frustrating, and it actually, we have a way to make it better. We just choose not to, and that's no different with your oil sands and the oil reserves and the way they can extract things, and they can do it differently, and they can repurpose people. This pandemic has opened our eyes. We need to be more self-sufficient for everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like when you see the empty
PPE.
shelves and when you go shopping and you see the empty shelves, it's because usually that item came from the States. And for the longest time, shelves were empty, halfway through the market when you're going to superstore or where have you to buy your groceries. And you kind of do a double take as to how much stuff is imported, exported that you didn't
Yeah.
really think about before this. And it's like,
That's
wow.
right. Well, our own PPE, my fire hall personally, like the actual hall I worked at, we couldn't secure the gowns and the N95s for the first part of this pandemic
Yeah.
because they were being either held at the time. The U.S. was holding a bunch because they didn't know what was going on, so we were relying on them. And then if they were from China or overseas somewhere, they were being shut down because their pandemic was so much ahead of ours. They'd shut the factories down.
And didn't we send
So-
a pile of our reserves that we had stockpiled here to China?
Yeah, when we got things
Yeah.
under control, which I've yet to see fully, but we
Yeah.
did. And why are we not making them here?
Yeah.
Well,
But
Very-
we
I'll tell
could,
you the dumbest thing I've seen through this entire pandemic was on March the 14th, the year before last.
Yeah.
We're flying out of Mexico, and the pandemic hit when we were in Mexico. That's when all hell broke loose.
I was like, what the fuck's with
NHL
this toilet paper? What
Yeah.
what the hell?
What
What
do
are
you
you
mean
people
the world's
talking
out of
about
toilet
toilet
paper?
paper?
I was, yeah.
So we're in the Port of at airport and sitting back waiting for our flight and stuff, and kind of debating. Well,
And
I guess we're
watching
supposed-
people watching
I guess
people
we're
take their
supposed to
stuff out.
quarantine and shit, and I don't know. We'll decide when we get home what the fuck we're gonna do. There's people literally taking their shit out of their suitcases, throwing it in the garbage, getting an Uber or a taxi, heading to Costco and buying up toilet paper and stuffing it into their suitcases.
We watched them do it. It was
Unbelievable.
insane.
Yeah.
It was insane.
And it wasn't even a GI virus. None of
No.
us could figure that
No.
part. Why wasn't it Kleenex even when you're coughing and snorting? And then even that was odd. But why shit
Yeah.
tickets? Why were
I don't
they
know.
the commodity at the beginning? No one can answer that.
So
I
then
don't
we get
know.
home, get relaxed. We quarantined for the 2 weeks and whatnot, and then Costco finally
That
came
was
out
fun.
and said, or Costco, Walmart, all the big distributors, yeah, if you bought toilet paper, we're not taking it back. Too bad, so sad.
Kijiji was just
Kijiji
loaded
shut
with
it
it after
down.
that. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
toilet paper
Kijiji
statues being built. Yeah,
Yeah,
It was
Kijiji
like
shut her
everyone
down.
wanted it.
Yeah,
But
And it took
unbelievable.
months to get toilet paper back on the shelves for a
So
lot
it
of
Did
areas.
and I also heard that a lot of the problem in the end was all that hoarding of paper. Then they couldn't remake it because a lot of the big city centers that their office towers were shut down, and quite a bit of their products are recycled into paper towel and to other sanitary
Yeah.
paper. But now that they were shut down, they basically weren't having the supply of recyclables to make the stuff, but they were celiac based. Hey, there's always more than one way to look at an issue for sure, but I'm guessing Ryan didn't run out. Yeah. I'm guessing that he actually made sure that he had enough. But no, there's been the best day I've ever had though during the pandemic. There was one really good day, and it was that day. Our day here was St. Patrick's Day when everything shut down. So what was that, March 18th? So I don't know, 17th.
17th.
Irish, I don't know.
It's my birthday.
So, oh well, happy belated or pre, yeah.
Pre.
So I was actually staffed. 2020 March 17th. I was given a shift on the ambulance as an extra. We actually grabbed an ambulance so that we could drag all the drunken students around and take the pressure off the normal ambulance service for St. Patrick's Day, because it's a known shit fest. It's a big drink up, right? So, and it put such a strain on the system that I agreed for the day. I'll go in, I'll do that. I wasn't doing the night part, but I'll go in on the day and we'll work and we'll slug these students around or whatever. But I showed up to work and it was the most eerie thing that not one bar, restaurant, anything. It was a ghost town. So it was the first time that I've ever been on the ambulance where I didn't touch a patient all day, all shift, nothing. And it was the only good thing that came out of this pandemic for me. It was like you go to work and I didn't actually work, and it's never been the same since.
They've been doing double duty since.
Yeah, we're looking at the sheeple's keeping us busy here with these.
Yeah. I wiped my ass with all the leftover sourdough from our homemade bread.
There's no way he's eating sourdough. There's no way.
There's a word.
That
there's
guy's
a word
dropped
for guys
weight.
like
He's got to
Ryan.
be on some. Yeah. There's
counseling.
all that weight he lost.
I know he's lost two human beings in there. No.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and what's even more impressive is the way that he says that there's no secret. Just fucking do it.
Maybe
Get it through it.
Enema, maybe.
It's looking like the secrets are starting to come out now, aren't they? No, it's been a ride though since March 2020, and we're still riding. And you guys are going through more and more. And I think that hopefully, where is your premier even around anymore? Is he called? Didn't his caucus call him back in for a vote of confidence? Or?
Yeah,
they were doing something, and then I seen today in the newspaper his face.
I made sure to address him on my tweet today about the best summer ever had. He was in the list of recipients, and I didn't hear back from his office. I was kind of hoping that he would hear.
Yeah, no, I think he's under a leadership review at this point.
Oh, what does that mean? When I'm under leadership review, it's never good.
It's like a vote of confidence would be the same thing. The party sits down and goes, "Yeah, guy's a fucking idiot. Let's get rid of him."
I think they asked him to stand down, and he said no.
But it's like Dougie Ford. It's like what's his Aaron O'Toole? You know, same thing. Aaron O'Toole's agreed to let the party members review his leadership, and they'll make a decision at some point.
Quite a system we have going for us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trump.
And they've thrown us to the. I'm pissed because they've thrown us all. Yeah, they've thrown us all to the wolves, and it's not just us as frontline workers. It's us as citizens in this country that have just been left to figure it out, go get your shit done, and when you come out of it, we'll be here and we've spent all your money. And we don't know where you're getting any more funding from.
We'll tax you to death later.
That's going to be another never-ending problem that we're going to have. But I have no use for them anymore whatsoever. I can't even talk about Ford without swearing or saying things that probably shouldn't be heard outside of a closed door because of what he's done to us and my coworkers and colleagues, teachers in this province, the long-term care facility. He's just a piece of crap.
Yeah.
And he's not standing up for it. All we need him to do is show his face and say, look, what do you guys need? What do you girls need? What do you people need? Let's get through this and we'll sort it out later.
From day one, all they needed was for somebody to step up. Somebody, Trudeau or a premier.
Anyone.
And I think Trudeau dropped the ball by passing along the ability to lead to the 13 premiers when you include the territories. I realize that health is a provincial jurisdiction, but Trudeau could have stood up and said, "Hey, look,
these are the guidelines.
We don't know what's
He can
wrong.
set a standard, and he can set a standard.
We don't know what to do.
Right?
We're going to make mistakes. We're going to backpedal on things. For now, what we know for sure is wear a mask, wash your hands. That's all we can tell you for right now.
Right.
And then it came, mask doesn't do anything. No, we've looked into it. Masks actually work. Keep wearing them. It's an airborne disease.
That's right.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
With their changing messaging, it's lost all validity on any messages that come out from this point on. There's no way that we can get any faith back in that, and we've lost it. And now we're on our own. We're just going to deal with the consequences. And as I said to Ryan when I was talking to him on his pod, this wave that we're going in now, it's here. We can't change it. We're dealing with the consequences of a few months ago. And it's coming through, and we're rolling now, and you're seeing the people that are sick, and our numbers are where they're at, and our schools have opened up again here, and we're dealing with the consequences of our long-term care problems and that. But if we start addressing it now, maybe we'll start to see the resolve by Christmas, the new year. But we gotta dig in now. We're dealing with the shit that they've handed us, and we're stuck.
Do you find that you've hardened off your empathy as I know I have? Like, people will come in and go, oh, I gotta wear this mask. Oh my god. I'm like, yeah, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care anymore. It's like they show up and the mandate is you must have a mask to go into a public building. So they show up.
And you know why?
And they come in.
I
and
have
they
to
go,
wear
I
one
don't have
too.
one.
How many of us like it? None of us like
Exactly.
it. There's a lot of
And they
things in
come in
life that
for
you don't like
3
and you got to deal with and just get through and move on.
My empathy level for these people and compassion is just gone. It's just gone. Like, I don't care. It's like, here's a mask, wear it or get out. Like, I just don't
I have to be careful with my empathy levels on calls. I mean, that's part of what we do, and I need to try and keep that there. But it instantly wanes as soon as I have a patient that wants to fight that aspect of it. I'm there to do a job. You called me. I didn't call you. You're the one that led a lifestyle that probably had you calling me right now. So why don't you just agree to put this mask on while I assess you? Because we have to ask them there too. It's our workspace.
Yeah.
And if they're in their house, they don't want to wear it, but now I'm in their house and they're not wanting it. And it becomes kind of a who's right, who's wrong. So sometimes we have to wait till they're at the door and then they wear it.
See, and I wasn't wrong.
There's no empathy.
I wasn't wrong. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, probably about 6 years ago, people would come near me that had a cold or some sort of cough or whatever, and I'd tell them, get the fuck away from me. I'm going to spray you with Lysol. Like, seriously, get away from me. You're spreading germs. Now we're all dipping our hands in Lysol every day. It's like, you know,
we've learned a lot from it, haven't we, as far as common hygiene? Like, I've heard people in the past recently say that they're almost to the point where they can't wait to not have to wash their hands all the time again. I'm like, when did that ever happen? Well, who were you when that was your life? And maybe you should reevaluate what you're doing with it at this point. And
no kidding.
From this point on. But it's I look back as a paramedic, for example, the biggest thing I ever wore for the first 10 years I worked were gloves. I was most worried about my hands. And I'm working on airways and suctioning and intubating and putting needles in people's chests or cutting throats or whatever. And I was worried about my friggin' hands. No masks, no goggles, no nothing. So we're learning from that. Like, maybe we need to smarten up a little bit that way. But that's how things evolve. That's how you make progress and you go forward. We've swung it far the other way with the pandemic. We're going to hopefully dial it back to some extent.
A little bit, yeah. But those places like
gone.
Costco used to drive me crazy because everybody, like 400, 500 people in every warehouse working. And they used to have the demos. Now they don't have the demos. People can't stand around eating and leaving their half-eaten food all over the place or their Kleenexes. And that used to drive me bonkers because right behind the demo person was this giant garbage can. Like, just can use it, right?
Yeah.
But no, they go.
I don't know if I've seen a more rude example of human behavior than at the Costco free sample table. Like, we're not talking about a lottery winning here. We're talking about a free piece of chocolate or something, and we are willing to trample each other for this warm cracker or whatever they're giving. Go for it. Have your free thing, but do you really need to invade everyone else's personal space to get that? And I agree with you. It's just such a thing that is it even coming back? I don't know.
I don't think so. Not with this pandemic.
Maybe there's the second good thing of the pandemic then. I had one where I didn't do any calls on one shift, and the second,
I'm back.
You're back. I was going to do a wellness check there with you, but
yeah. I just did a wellness check. I'm fine. Had to go take my temperature.
Good. Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah.
Get the wrench.
The good way. I didn't see a forehead thermometer, Wade.
Ooh, I had to take the wrench off.
Yeah. You can, And it's not a monitoring thermometer. You can take the thermometer out. It's not a
Oh.
constant monitor. Yeah, no. It's not like an oven. Yeah. No, we were just talking about Costco. I didn't hear about all the free sample and all the crap that went on with all those free food
Yeah,
giveaways,
I,
and hopefully they're
Oh
gone
yeah.
forever
Yeah.
now.
I
I'm
handed
gonna
to those
offend
demo
someone on your
ladies.
show for sure.
Those demo
Yeah,
ladies got all the power in the world because when I worked there, it was like if I was one of those demo ladies, I'd be slapping people with that hot spatula. Like, get
that's what
the
I mean.
hell away from me! Like, just
Where
stop
do manners
grabbing.
go for a free piece of cheese or yogurt? Like, how come you have
Yeah,
no manners because it's free? Like, yeah,
because
See,
they
it's. I
paid
think
their
that could be.
membership and they're entitled.
All right, yeah, I forgot,
This
and
is
I
why.
didn't
This is
pay
why
to
we
get in
closed
there.
the
And
door. Come
yes,
on.
I hear you.
Hey.
Is she back?
Hey. Yeah.
I hear something. I can't have
She's-
Aggie in here. She'll rip these wires out of the wall, and it took me about 19 hours to figure out how to use this mic. So
Here.
we're gonna leave it in as is.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come say hi.
Oh, nothing like it. Such a good sound to hear that come near you. Hey, not with mom
she's a
though,
good
eh? With
girl.
dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
both of us. She's an equal opportunity molester,
good.
right?
Yeah.
She's trained killer.
And an
machine.
Aussie. How old?
Was she three? 3.5.
She's just 3, yeah.
Oh, nice. Just a good age. Got through the dinosaur biting years and is now just fun and can listen now.
You know
You
what's
know?
funny? This breed doesn't
She's-
do that. It doesn't chew
Really?
or. Yeah,
Even
I
with the
had to
teething and all
Sucks
that,
it all.
no?
No.
No.
Give her a
Really?
bone
Yeah.
and she's happy.
Aggie's good now,
Easiest.
but she was a bit of a weapon when she was younger. I was like, what are we doing here? But after about
Shark!
6
Ow,
months and
shark!
the teething, and yes, exactly. But now she's and Aggie doesn't shed. That breed doesn't shed. And,
Oh, nice.
This one
that's
does.
a bonus. So yeah, but it's the price you pay, right? So
Between this and the cat, we come home to 2 or 3 new animals a week.
yeah, and a lot of Costco Swiffers. Yeah.
They don't even help.
They don't help. It's
No,
just
no.
never ending.
The cat
Never
is Maine Coon, Siamese, and
Ragdoll.
Ragdoll, and her fur is just
It's that wispy, fine baby
Gets all
hair.
over. Yeah.
but
Yeah,
she's
and
thick.
it's
Stuff that sticks to my Velcro and my polyester uniforms on calls.
Yes.
Exactly.
When I'm
yeah.
kneeling on the floor to help someone out, and I get up and
Yeah.
I have a small
Yeah.
hamster attached to my knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
her.
it.
That's her.
Yeah. Ah. Price
She's
you
a
pay to have a
beautiful-
great animal. Yeah.
Beautiful cat, but she's just that will be our last cat. She's done me in.
Well, I know you're good people if you have animals. That's my token line.
That's
If
mine
you have
too.
animals and you're nice to animals, I know that you're a good person.
Yeah,
And you
she's
take
pretty
really nice
sweet.
pictures. I know that. I've seen them online, so you can't hide
Oh,
around
thanks.
that anymore. And all those ones where you're running from the cougars. Isn't that the ones we were talking about?
Yeah.
You had the railway one, and you told me you're running from a cougar in the woods. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rawr.
I could read between the lines. Yeah. Yeah. So is that around you? Those pictures? Or are they nearby?
Yeah, most of them are in the neighborhood here or in the Rockies, for the most part.
Nice. And how
'Cause we're only,
how
what, 4 hours away from the Rockies. We're
Yeah,
about an hour
okay.
northeast of Edmonton.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, a little fun
And
community out here.
that
There in
that
Mexico.
concept.
Sorry.
Yeah. Aren't you going traveling somewhere soon?
Yeah, I'm taking off for Mexico the end of next month to shoot a wedding.
How you feel about that? Are you anxious about that?
It's going to be new. I'm going to figure a lot of shit out when I go down. As far as
Is that because you've been to Mexico? You mean
Oh,
just
I've been
during
to
the
Mexico tons
pandemic?
of times.
Right.
Just,
Yeah.
Just the pandemic part of, getting
And I'm
the
sure you're
COVID
hearing
test
what
down
we
there,
hear.
and
Right.
yeah,
But
it
are you
is what it is.
anxious
It's a learning
about
curve.
what? Have you learned what the state is down where you're going as far as?
Yeah, in the state
stuff?
of Nayarit, which is a state on the west coast of Mexico, north of Puerto Vallarta, about 4.3 million people in that state. Guadalajara's in the state, Tepec's in the state. They have 46.
And how are they
active
faring?
cases. They have 46 active
46?
cases right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's,
I mean, good for
that's
you.
Nothing.
Get it done. Yeah. I'd be excited to get on a plane again myself.
Like I
It'd be
said,
worth,
it's
The
Kinda
airport's scary though.
kind of like starting over again, traveling, right? Not having done it with COVID. So
Yeah.
I got my passport, and I'll download my QR code here tomorrow and get all that
Big
ready.
deal. You have the QR codes now? Did they just come out?
Yeah, the QR codes are out, but they don't have the ability to read them yet. They figure that'll be probably next week. So,
Wow.
of course,
Apparently you need to bring vegetables.
Yeah,
I didn't know they had any there. Yeah.
The
Well,
best
I know where to get vegetables, and they're damn good down there. Better than anything you get up here, because everything's railroaded up. And
exactly. It's just the little resorts you end up at. Sometimes you don't see a vegetable for a week, but that's self-induced, right?
yeah, exactly.
When I've been down there.
We don't stay at resorts. We've got friends down there we stay with, or we'll stay at Airbnbs. And
Airbnb is the way to go.
That's the way to go, definitely.
It's cheap enough to eat at restaurants. And with the last couple trips that we've done down there, my go-to has been follow my nose. Just you'll smell something down the street and it's like, hey, what is that? I don't know. I'm going to go try it. And it's led to some very, very good restaurants. And usually,
and you've stayed healthy doing that?
Oh yeah.
You've generally been okay. Good.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed stories, but they're all just stories, right? I've been to Mexico many times. I've just never gone independently like that.
Don't buy street yucca.
Oh, yucca fruit. Yeah. Well, no,
really?
No, don't say it like that. That's wrong. Don't eat an entire bag to yourself.
Okay, that way. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't do that.
Little acidic. Yeah.
No, it was really, really good. But then over the course of the evening, and apparently it's an aphrodisiac, but it had the opposite effect on. It had the opposite effect. I ate so much of it that I became 37 months pregnant. Like I just ballooned right out, and the guys at the desk, like I left what was left to the guys at the desk, at the front desk, and they were snacking on it and said, "Oh no, you don't eat more than 3 pieces." I'm like, "Yeah, really? Wow, what's it going to do to me? I have an iron."
So 3 pieces is aphrodisiac?
Apparently, but more than that is deadly because.
But a whole bag is like GI upsetting explosive.
I missed an entire day. I was so sick.
I don't know what an anti-aphrodisiac is called. Is that even a term? The opposite.
A whole yucca fruit.
That's exactly. Yeah.
That's when I met my Mexican wife.
Yep.
Doe was sick and stayed on the. We had stayed in the resort that year.
He rolled over to put his arm around me, and I threatened to kill him. Don't even touch me. I'm sick. Like that's how bloated I was. Like there was no.
We took our son Sheldon with us.
Space.
He was about 15.
Oh, I wish I knew you guys a little more right now. We could do a whole lot of stuff.
Fire away.
No, we'll go. I'm a guest right now. Right?
Don't worry about it.
No, this is good.
It's an open game.
Mexican wife was older, younger, same age, man,
I have no idea, man.
She was hot.
No idea.
She was hot.
Doe stayed at the resort. We had taken our son Sheldon down with us. He was 15 at the time. Yep. Wouldn't swear. He wouldn't say shit if his mouth was full of it. And we were down there. We were down there with a gay couple, really good friends of ours. Sheldon gives permission. So we're down there. We went to Sayulita, which is just north of Puerto Vallarta, and it's the number 5 stop on the World Surf Tour. And we're wandering the beach down there, having a look. And it was when we got out of the taxi, no word of a lie. We went from being in 2010 to 1963. The beach is lined with bums and a bunch of dope smoking hippies and just a party atmosphere.
It's different.
And people surfing all over the place. So I walked out up to my waist into the ocean and started taking pictures of the surfers, and they were, half a mile out, 3/4 of a mile out into the ocean. And finished up doing that, sat down in the canteen to have some beer and nachos, and started editing on the camera and zoomed in on this one picture. I don't have it loaded, unfortunately. Zoomed in. I've
seen that picture actually. I watched. Now I know who you're talking about. The surfer.
Surfer girl.
She was a little bit attractive.
Yeah, she was. From what
I remember, it was Bonzi you had on, right? And he was going off about
or I was on his show.
You were on Bonzi or one of those two, but he just went off about the surfer picture.
Yeah. But that's the first time I ever heard Sheldon drop an F-bomb when I turned the camera around to show him the pictures. Holy fuck, she's hot, Dad. Okay.
Yeah.
You
raised them right.
Todd. Yeah. Gave the camera to Reg and Todd, the 2 gay guys we were traveling with, and both of them in stereo. Oh yeah, I'd go straight. So we got back to the resort and we're still yucking it up about it, and Doe says, "What the hell's so funny?" So I gave her the camera and says, "What do you think?" So, "Oh fuck, I'd do her."
Yeah, that's a sign. Sure sign. It's the litmus test. But you're bloated at this time. But are you bloated at this point?
I was like, just poof.
And I'm pretty sure in Mexican culture, Surfer Girl and I are now married. So
it was my own buoy.
And you've seen her again since?
No. We went looking for her. I wanted to get her to sign a model release so I could sell the pictures. And Everybody knows her. Everybody knows who she is. Nobody knows where she is.
Yeah, she pulls into town every day around
Yeah.
3 o'clock when the high tide's coming in, catches a
Yeah.
few waves, jumps back in her vehicle, and gone. Nobody knows her.
I guess she lives full time in southern states, someplace in California,
Oh yeah.
and comes down there to surf a couple times a month.
No,
So
they
let
said
me
we-
ask you, when
they
you go
said
this-
daily.
When you go this time, are you in that area?
Yep.
He's
so
always
there's
in
always a
that
chance.
area. He's
Yeah,
gonna
don't
find
there's always a
us
chance you
somewhere.
could have a
Brad,
sighting.
Brad, shut up, Brad, shut up.
No, I'm just trying. I was going to ask more about your health insurance. And,
I don't
was gonna
carry any health
originally ask-
insurance.
Well, I was going to ask originally if COVID was an issue with health insurance, but now I'm going to worry about heart issues with health insurance if you're going
No,
down there
he's
for these
just going to
reasons.
need health
Yeah,
insurance when he gets back after he finds her.
that's right. Yeah,
I've got my heartworm pills. I'm good.
good for you. Yeah, you'll be fine.
She'll
My
knock
blood
that
pressure
blood
goes.
pressure right out of you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially when she pulls that wrench off you.
I'll send you the link for the set that he was using, Wade.
yeah.
I think it was a Mastercraft 8-piece something. I don't remember if it was metric or imperial, but
Didn't
you
get
can
that close a
decide
look,
what
huh?
you need more.
Do they have a
I
little
was
Pikes
close.
version?
Too close. It was like- yes.
I missed that. What
the
was that,
plastic
Bill?
hurts less
Nothing.
anyway, Wade.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that'll be on the rewind later.
Yeah. Now I got to rewatch my own show. Son of a
That's
bitch.
right.
I just asked him if there was a little Tykes version.
It was well played. Well played.
Ah, very good. Very good. And silence.
Come for the show, stay for the abuse, whatever.
That's right. Yeah. The Sheldon's obviously been watching. Right?
Yeah.
And is now how old?
27.
27.
Yeah. Local?
Yeah.
Family nearby? Just curious. Like, did
Yeah,
everyone
he's
stick
about
around?
15
Did they
minutes away
take
from
off?
us.
What? Yeah. Well, that's
No,
good.
he's about
Everybody
15.
left
All the
us.
kids. All the kids are.
Oh, yeah.
in
You
the-
can play that off, though. I'm not buying it.
Everybody
Yeah.
left us.
Yeah, the
All,
tears
all
aren't
the
real.
kids are still in the neighborhood, for the most part.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah. Arm's reach, anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Good guess.
Good
Yeah.
guess.
See? You with give or take a postal code, right?
They all
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
home for dinner every so often, and especially
That's
if there's
good, though.
cabbage rolls and
Yeah.
pierogies and stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
sent Sheldon.
Well,
a
I
text
told you I'm
message
coming out
already.
in the spring, right? I'm trying
Are
to come
you?
out in the spring. So,
Are you?
yeah, I do have some contacts that I've been meaning to get to Calgary way with.
Okay.
But now that this whole world is starting to take off a little bit, between Lachlan's giving me an invite to come out, and you gave me one when I invited myself, and it'd be
No, I
nice
got
to
a
make a
coach.
tour up that way. in
Our
the spring,
door's
so
always open.
Our door's
that'd be
always
great
open,
to-
and Sheldon's
yeah.
got a floor.
I'm double vaxxed, just in case you're worried. So I'll bring my
Sheldon's got a
QR
floor
code.
too, so. Yeah, bring
I'll
your-
scan you at the door.
Yeah.
scan you at the door. You
I'm only
fucking
taking
liar.
a rectal
Yeah.
thermometer, though.
Oh, Wade will have to take it out though.
That's
If he's
not a
still
problem.
using it, I want to be able to use it.
It's not a problem. I'll have the wrench repaired by then.
I'm bringing my
Go
own set,
little
Wade.
Tykes.
The travel kit. Yeah.
Yeah, the travel kit.
No, I think it'd be good to come out that way again. It's been a long time coming for me, and I've always kind of been trying to get back there. Now things are starting to add up more and more. That it'd be an ideal time to
Oh, yeah.
come out that way. It'd be fun to hook up. It'd be great to see things again, and
Oh, yeah.
you never know. Yeah,
Definitely.
and
If you're out this way, we've got to get together.
And that's in
Yeah.
the spring. You have
I
some
think
time
so.
coming?
I'm not coming out there in the winter. Are you crazy?
Why
No,
not? It's
I don't
beautiful
have time
here
coming.
in
I'm just
winter.
not going to Edmonton in the winter. Calgary
No,
was bad enough.
it's
You
the
guys
best
are
time
north
to
of
come
that.
to Edmonton.
No, there's no such
There's
thing
so much
as
to
best
see.
time winter.
You go to the beach. You drink some beers on the beach.
See, this is
Okay, well,
is
yeah.
pre-winter.
But I'm not
okay
here in the
with.
winter, so it's.
That's right. So
I'm
he's
not
come
here in
on
the winter,
over.
so
Yeah.
come on over.
Pre-winter,
Exactly.
I'm good with. When it gets to be winter, I go through what I call ancestral hate. It's like, what were you people
I bet.
thinking?
Yeah.
Why
Why
the
are we
hell?
here? Why'd you
Yeah.
get me here?
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
Complete
No,
ancestral
I'm the same.
hate.
I have no use for winter anymore. I play hockey and that, but I can do that anytime. I don't need winter to do that. They got facilities now to
funny.
make it easier.
It's funny. Growing up, I was a winter kid. Everything about winter, I just loved winter. Ice fishing, hockey, fall, go hunting. I just loved winter. And now, and I hated heat in the summer. I hated the sweat. Playing football. It's like, oh yeah, I'll run for a pass, but man, oh man, I got to take 5 and towel off after going, running
Yeah.
a 5 yard out. And now
Yeah.
it's, heat. Yeah, let's go to Mexico. Let's get the hell out of here. I hate the cold. I hate winter. I hate everything
It
about
It's
it.
hurts.
therapeutic. There's nothing
Yeah.
therapeutic about
Yeah.
midwinter cold.
I'm not playing
And
hockey
it's
anymore. I
And
can still watch it on
depressing.
the computer in Mexico. So I
Yeah.
don't give a rat's
Depressing
ass.
It
winter
is.
because you go
Yeah.
through that whole mole. Like you probably have late or not even late nights, but you get up in the morning, go to work, it's dark. You get home
Yeah.
from work in the afternoon, it's dark. It's just the
And you're a
whole
lot
mole
worse
syndrome.
than we are. You're a
Oh
lot
yeah,
worse than
yeah,
we are. You're so much further north. Even Calgary,
yeah,
when I was there, I couldn't believe how much further north it was than southern Ontario. If you go across the
yeah,
map,
yeah,
you're almost at like our James Bay,
yeah.
our
Oh yeah,
Hudson Bay
Hudson Bay
latitude
area.
there.
Yeah,
And yeah, and the daylight hours are just gone, and then the
and they're
temperature shifts in Calgary really bothered me too. The Chinooks and stuff like that. I had a hard time with
Yeah.
pressure changes, with my headaches, and
yeah,
that it would cause, and that everybody was suffering. But it's a beautiful part of the world. I'll give you that. It's very nice
Yeah.
out there.
yeah,
I missed my lakes when I was gone. Like I love the Canadian Shield type
yeah,
Algonquin Park Lake and all that.
yeah.
That's kind of where we're at out here. Is that kind of place? But I did love it out there, and I can't wait to come back,
Yeah, the
visit.
nearest we got to seeing a Canadian Shield Lake was up in northern Manitoba. I shot a wedding up in the Paw.
Yeah,
And was it Rocky
yeah,
Lake? I think that was the name of the lake.
Beautiful
Just
place.
absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous. Nothing like that in Alberta where there's rocks all around the lake, like
no,
big slabs of
it's
rock, not stones, but
but
Cliff.
Alberta
Cliff
has
type
its own
rocks.
perks. It's just
oh
different,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I missed that part of it for what I was interested in. I was never a big skier.
yeah,
I tried the skiing thing when it's because I had to, because I was living out that way, and I went and did that. But to me, it was okay. People think I'm nuts that I didn't just live on the ski hills, but I had stuff to do. I wasn't out there just hanging around. And
yeah,
but it's beautiful there in the summer seasons. The mountains are they're breathtaking. You can't replace those or have anything even comparable to those. But I missed home way, and
yeah,
it's what you're used to. I think it's what you grew
Yeah.
up with. What do you
yeah.
remember as being
Exactly,
a kid, and where's your
exactly.
heart at? Yeah, huh?
So what do you do for fun?
Fish.
Golf.
Yeah.
Golf today. Had a really good day. We had a beautiful day here today. It was like 24 degrees unexpectedly. It was sunny. The leaves were falling, but the air was warm, but it wasn't smoggy, and it was just really nice.
A really nice
My
day.
fun is generally Aggie though, the dog. It's my time every day out for some fresh air, and apparently there I might be doing some more talking online about for fun coming up soon. We may be having some more of those things, those projects to work on. So hopefully I can handle the nerves of being on the air like this. Get through it all right.
Yeah, it's treated like a phone
Doing
call.
fine.
That's all.
Hopefully.
You treat it like a
Hopefully.
phone call where you got stupid questions. That's all. That's
Yeah.
what I do. Yeah.
So I
I
get
try
through
and
my
keep it
job.
lighthearted, stupid, silly, goofy, have fun.
Working. Working.
But we're gonna
Taking
let
all
you
your
run
time
that.
here. Yeah.
No, we'll let you
Taking
run.
your
It's
time.
like
That was a good
11:30
chat.
your time. It's past your bedtime.
Yeah. Well, that was at 10. Don't worry about that.
Oh, well, fuck it. Okay,
No,
I'll pour
no,
another
no, we're
coffee.
good. I was happy that you invited me on. Appreciate it. It
No,
was
and I
really good
appreciate you
to
coming.
meet, quote unquote, meet you guys and be able to chat. We didn't bitch enough, but we chatted.
I do have a question for you, though, Brad. How long have you been watching podcasts now? Like on Dean's Network and what have you? Has it been a while or?
I can't say religiously watching them for more than this year. I would say like 2021. I
Okay, 'cause I'm in the
found Dean again
same-
recently on audio first. Because quite
I'm
often
kind of
walking
in
the dog, I
same
just search
boat.
for
I've
pods.
been doing this for I don't know about 3.5, 4 months now, once a week.
Mhm.
Just more for something to do on a Friday evening than sitting watching
Yep.
TV.
Yeah.
And started watching Dean's podcast maybe 2 months before that. So 6 months invested in the podcast type deal. And
Yeah.
I found in talking to people, I've met you, I've met Bonzi, Ryan. I haven't talked
Sorry
to
about
in
that.
person yet. And a few others that I've talked. It's a very small, tight knit community.
It is.
It truly
I'll
is.
tell you who's a
where-
really good egg. Ryan and I really hit it off on our pre-interview chat. Ours was quite not serious, but it was more
I'll be back.
addressing some aggressive topics.
Yeah,
And I got to kind of chat with Ryan on a professional level at times and kind of heart to heart there. And he's a really good egg. I got to know him better than some of the others on this show, on these pods, but every single one, like you say, have a common kind of thread in them that I've been gelling with and meshing with pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm
and it's just,
fortunate for that. I think that's a really good thing that Dean's brought on there. His networks are so supportive and so inclusive of what he believes in.
Yeah. And so are
and
the
what
people,
his vision is. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like
the
people, but no, I mean, I'm just saying for what I've seen on my side,
yeah.
the people that I've been exposed to, because I had no idea how to do any of this.
Yeah.
No idea. And now that we're getting rolling, and they've kind of given me a hand. And then through that, like I think I first saw your comments with Bonzi originally.
Oh, probably.
To be honest, because it was great to find someone chewing them like you were. And then I started following you and off we went.
Yeah.
And I would say pods though, probably all of 2020 for sure. I was listening more though. I'd grab a pod and put on the Apple, whatever. And I'd walk the dog and have the earbuds in and be gone. But to start watching them probably this year to do the visual thing too.
It's just a tight knit community. I'm not involved with Dean's network at all. I'm a free agent without compensation. But
there's
I
no
know
compensation. Let's talk.
Yeah, but I know that I can drop Dean a text or any questions I have through Twitter or send him a text message or whatever, and he gets back to me with an answer. No, do this way, try this, try that, try this. So even though I'm not involved,
it's the respect that's there, right? Because you're all in the same.
Yeah.
And he obviously knows your content. Because if he didn't
content.
Respect what you did, he wouldn't give you the time of day, or you would know that he wasn't going to. He would give you the time of day, just not what you wanted. Yeah.
I had to step out and let the cat in, and then I heard this rocking sound, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I turn around and look, and the dog is literally sitting in my rocking chair doing this, rocking back and forth.
Hoping that this goes on till about 4 a.m. your time, right? Just don't get off leave the microphone on.
She doesn't
just a
care.
goof. Just a goof dog.
Right
I really appreciate that you.
Thanks for jumping in.
It was good meeting you both. Yeah, and
good meeting you.
We'll chat again sometime.
Oh yeah, we'll do this again.
We need to bitch more though. We do. I don't know if we lived up to the bitch fest.
I kind of thought you'd bring more to the table, Brad.
Well, I just like the conversation. I was following my lead, and I can only be as good as the host, right?
Oh, it's not a bad host.
That's what we're. God. We're talking about.
Yeah, you better have me on your podcast soon, sports.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. I look forward to it.
No, it's a blast, man. It was a blast.
Nice to meet both of you.
This.
Yeah,
nice
really
to meet you.
And
appreciate
we'll
everything that you do.
Sure.
Yep, and thanks
you as
for
well.
everything you do.
Everybody, keep strong out there
safe,
too
buddy.
in Alberta. We're thinking of you. You too. Take care.
Okay. Check.
Good night.
So there you have it, Brad Hopper, paramedic, firefighter, biologist, fisherman. Hell of a nice guy. Super nice guy.
Yes, he is.
And I just want to talk to him. He tells it straight like it is. You know, it pulls no punches.
Well, when you hear about his background and stuff, you think, oh, it's going to be dry. But he's got a great personality.
No, he's got a great
personality,
a great sense of humor. He's a lot of fun. So we'll have him on again.
Yeah, I appreciate anybody with a sense of humor, especially when you do that kind of a job. You can easily turn off and lose your humor so quickly.
Oh, yeah, I could. He does a job that there's no way I could ever do it. And I know I don't have the, I don't know. I can't run into the fire. I got to run away from it.
See, and there's a certain personality it takes to be able to do that. Yeah. And I think those people have the ability to turn off and on. You know, like definitely. There's some people that, you know, you see somebody with a cut and you flip out. And then there's other people that just flip to neutral and just glide through it.
Yeah.
And you almost have to do that. I could do that job, yeah, I could. But I don't know how it affects me in the long run afterwards.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing too, is down the road in the future, what's the PTSD like? Right? You know,
more trazodone. That's what it's like.
Speaking of PTSD, my sponsor, Tamara, she provides me with these coffee cups. She's getting a new printer. She's going to be able to do T-shirts and hats.
I thought she got the new printer already.
She bought it. It failed, so she had to get another one.
Mm.
She's also going to be doing Boozy balls.
Boozy balls?
Boozy balls.
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
tree ornaments. You pour your own booze in them, and she can customize them. Like these ones say, drink me on them. She can make them say, she can put whatever you want on them. So
I need
I know what I'd be doing.
Need a bunch of those that say F you and Christmas.
Yeah, I know what I'd be doing.
Making a fuck you
Especially
tree.
if I were younger. No. I'd be making an Advent boozy calendar Christmas tree decoration ornament. And that way, every day you come home and it's 12 days till Christmas. You drink one. But I also know old Wade would be 24 days till Christmas. Fuck it. 18. I'll buy another bottle tomorrow and refill them all. That's what I'd be doing.
You'd need 24 of those. 24? Yeah, 24. 24 sets till Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right?
I had to do the math. I forgot when Christmas was. Jesus.
I don't know. I'm
not
care.
looking forward to Christmas. I only have $8. I'm just putting that out there.
You got $8?
Well, I had $8 and I bought a lottery ticket because I'm smart that way.
Oh man, that's $8 more than what I got.
Yeah, I'm lucky if I get a free play.
Oh. Well, that's about all I got, I think.
Mm.
Pretty sure we've been at this now for just an hour and a half. So.
Wow.
But hey, thanks for jumping in and joining Brad and I and keeping the conversation going when everybody had to run away and pee.
Yeah, you know you're getting little Tykes tools for Christmas, right?
Yeah, I know. I just looked on the other computer at how much they are.
Oh, you're looking them up? What's the
yeah,
price
well,
point?
I'm preparing myself for the gift, and I'm not overly worried because they're $9 and you only have 8. So
Thanks for the ideas, Brad.
Hopper, you son of a bitch.
All right, I'm out because
Alrighty.
I'm just because I am.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Bye bye. Maybe make some coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go for a coffee. Yeah. Okay, bye. She gone. And again, the only time during a week that Wade gets the last word when I boot her out because I have command control. It's the only time I ever get last word. And I really have nothing more to say other than, hey, thanks for watching. For those of you that stuck it out, appreciate it. Ryan from the Sheeple Shepherd Network. You can't say that fast. My son Ryan, Tara. Oh, who else was here tonight? Gwen, of course, was here. Mr. Ryan Lindley. Tara, race car driver. Brad, of course. Brad, thanks for joining us. It was good to. It's always good to meet these people. Like Brad and I have chatted a lot. Not a lot. A fair amount. In other podcasts, we'll shoot shit back and forth and, have some laughs that way. But it's good to meet these guys, face to face through a computer. So, I don't know, is that face to face or monitor to monitor? I don't know. It's good to meet these guys. Really good stand-up guys. Enjoy chatting with them. Maybe someday. Get together and have a beer. I can see that happening. Definitely can see that happening with Brad. So you never know. Be prepared. Flights now are cheap. Wow. Okay, they're not overly cheap. But, Flair Air, fun. Guy can fly to Hamilton and walk to Toronto. It's not that far, is it? Nah, it's not that bad. Hell, you can fly from Hamilton to Edmonton. $169 return. It's not that bad. So, but on behalf of everybody, thanks for watching. Have a good weekend.